Hey everybody, back again with another video about my SCUF Elite. I realized in looking at your questions and messages that I got from friends and other people that I didn't really explicitly say what exactly the SCUF Elite is and how it compares to both the standard Microsoft Elite and the SCUF Infinity 1. So I want to take a minute, maybe a few minutes, in this video to break down how those all compare to each other and give you some of my opinions about what you should get, what's going on with this stuff, what's the skinny, okay? So here we go. Very important thing to note, this controller that I bought, the SCUF Elite, that's exactly what it's called on the SCUF website. This is an official Microsoft Elite controller. This is exactly the same thing that's in that standard box. The guts, the way it works, everything. This is an Elite. Okay, I want to get that out of the way. So then you're probably saying, well, so why is it a SCUF Elite? Why do you need to go through SCUF at all? What's going on here? You guys know about the design lab thing that they have for the regular Xbox controllers, right? You can get the standard Xbox One controller and customize the colors, the buttons, the bumpers, the shell, all of that kind of stuff, right? Okay, and there was no such thing for the Elite at the time that that launched. Okay. If you haven't been keeping up on this, what Microsoft decided to do in keeping with the Elite's, premium for pros theme was they partnered with SCUF to do the customizations for the Elite controller. Okay, the SCUF Elite is to the Microsoft Elite what Design Lab is to the standard Microsoft Xbox One controller. Okay, the SCUF Elite is how you get a Microsoft Elite controller in custom colors. That's the simplest way that I can say it, because really your choice to get that controller and everything that I've gone through and everything that I've thought about is it comes down to that. Do I just want the black one, like the way it comes, or do I want it in my own colors or designs, right? And I say that because, there's color button options and that kind of stuff, but then they have shells that have different designs on them and stuff too. So that's important to note if you're interested in that kind of thing. Both of those things exist, okay? I already said that the SCUF Elite is a Microsoft Elite controller, okay? And I want to say that again because it's very important. And I know this 110% because I actually called SCUF customer service and asked them that question, amongst other things. It is a Microsoft Elite, okay? What happens is SCUF customizes the colors and adds their accessories that they make for the Microsoft Elite. So just like those other accessory kits, remember that Halo one I had in the last video? SCUF is making premium accessories to bolt on to the Elite. Okay. So that's the grips and different stick set that's going to be available soon. And then that's also the paddle hatch that's on here, right? The battery door with the SCUF style paddles. Okay. What that means is if you already have a plain Elite, you can just buy this thing to put onto the Elite you already have. You can buy the SCUF style grips and the different sticks to go on the Elite you already have. Okay? All right. Now, the downside that I've seen in going through all this is you don't get any of the accessories that come with a standard Elite when you buy the SCUF Elite. So you buy the standard Elite, they give you a case. You get the Microsoft paddles. You get the selection of different stick types, right? You get the plain D-pad and that hex D-pad, all in that box. Standard Elite, okay? when you get one of these SCUFs that they customize for you, you only get the accessories that you pick out during checkout. Okay. So when I bought this controller, I didn't get any other sticks besides the 2 standard height sticks that I had picked out. I did not get the standard paddles in addition to this paddle hatch. Does that make sense? Do you guys understand what I'm getting at? I didn't get that case. None of that stuff. I just got what I picked out when I designed it. That is it. Okay. And that's not necessarily bad. I'll get to that in a little bit. Okay. So that is how that stacks up. If you're wondering about what is this thing? Why is it different? Why do I need it? Do I need it? Do I want it? Okay. So then I'm going to get into sort of the main takeaway questions that I had from what people have asked me after the last video. Okay. So the first question is, if I already have an Elite, should I get a SCUF Elite? This is actually very simple to answer. Okay. Only if you want custom colors. Only if you're bored by the way the standard Elite looks and you want it to be your thing that looks the way you want it. Okay. If you already have an Elite and you just want those paddles, buy the paddle set. It's cheaper. Or, you know, roughly the same. But there's no need to buy an Elite again if you already have one and there's nothing wrong with it. Right? Because there's nothing else special about this. It's the same controller. We're just talking about this stuff that you can get with it. Okay? Just buy the paddle hatch. Just buy the stick set. Buy one of the other accessory sets by Power A, I think it is, that made the Halo ones. Right? Okay? Another takeaway question, and this kind of covers a bunch of different individual questions in one go, is if I don't have a Microsoft Elite yet, and I don't have a SCUF yet, I don't have any of that premium stuff yet, what should I get? What do I need? What, you know, how do they compare? Okay. So if you don't care about color or the design at all, just get a plain Microsoft Elite and whatever SCUF add-ons you might want. Or maybe you don't even want those. Okay. Because ultimately, even if you pay like maybe $10, $20 more than what the SCUF would be from the factory, you're getting more. You buy that standard Elite and you have all those accessories, the case and all of those parts that the Elite comes with. Because I think for a lot of people, just in conversation and reading, they're most interested by the paddles, the SCUF paddles. And truly, if you don't care about your controller looking special at all, the standard Elite and the separate purchase of that paddle hatch is a lot more for your money. I am not ashamed to say that, even after my purchase was different. Looking at it, that's the way to go, to me. Okay. And not only that, but you're still having the whole, I can remap all the buttons, I can save a profile for every game to my console and just load it up, in addition to the 2 that are stored on the controller, right? That's very important as well. Okay. The SCUF Infinity one. Really, and I love getting fancy equipment that's like what the pros use. I'm going to put that out there, full disclosure. I love doing that. But truly, the Infinity one is pros only. And it does come with a lot of the negative things. Well, I'm going to say cons. It's not really negative, that I faced with the Razer Wildcat. Okay. It doesn't have those conveniences that the Elite has. You can't save the profiles to your console. You can store 2 on it, but that's it. You got to change it the way that I had to change my Razer Wildcat, right? That thing that made me start looking at the Elite again is still something that exists with that Infinity one if you pay all that money for it. Okay, and it does cost more than the SCUF Elite too. equivalent amount of, special stuff, 4 paddles, all that stuff costs a lot more. Could be over $300 because I've priced them out before. Okay. You can't, do the fine adjustment of the sensitivities and all that stuff that you do in the accessories app, right? None of that exists on the Infinity One. You're back to that same place that you are on the Razor Wildcat. Same issues. Even though the build quality and all that stuff is very premium and all that. And there's other stuff that people have told me too, like turning the trigger stops on and off. You actually have to either switch out the handles or take them apart to do it. It's not just a little switch like it is on here, right? And there's, like the trigger stiffness, I guess is the way to describe it and all that can be adjusted on the Infinity, but I don't know. I don't see it being a factor unless, you're like Snipe Down and this is your Halo controller and you want it just so. But I'm starting to think that now that the Elite has these accessories, that's less of a factor now. This might actually be the better choice over the Infinity One now that these things exist for it. I'm just throwing that out there. Okay, sorry, I'm getting off track. All right, now, so you say, okay, the Infinity One's out of the picture. This is not for me. Standard Microsoft Elite versus the SCUF Elite. What does that mean? I said it before. If you want your own colors or designs, the SCUF Elite is the way to go. Because you'll have it look the way you want. I got my silver, black, and blue that goes with my consoles that I have, and this is kind of my thing. All of my devices are like this. Okay? That's how I wanted it. If I was going to spend the money, I wanted it to look the way I wanted and be mine. So that influenced my choice of the SCUF. Okay. And you still get, I have all this SCUF-like stuff, a little more premium, but I can still map all the buttons, not just the multifunction paddles. I can remap any of these the way I want using the accessories app on my console. It is very important to remember that about the Elites. Okay. I can fine-tune different sensitivities, the stick sensitivity styles, sensitivity within that performance style, all of that stuff. Save it as a profile for that game. Load it up easily. I've got 2 profiles that can live in this controller at a time. And with a few presses of a button, I could pop in a different one and then switch it back when I'm done. Very little effort. And that was one of the things that drove me to this upgrade. Maybe more than the idea that this would just be a better controller to play with. 100% honest. That functionality was very important to me. Because many games I do not like the button maps that you have to choose from, and I want to change stuff. And I don't just want to say, okay, I'm going to stick it down on this paddle. I might actually want to change the map on the face, period. Use the face buttons and change that map. Okay. So that influenced me, if that's a thing for you. Just be warned that if you do this, if you get this Elite built for you and customized by SCUF, you will not get all the accessories that come standard with the standard Microsoft Elite. Okay? You don't get the other paddles. You don't get the selection of different sticks. You only get the D-pad that you choose. You don't get the other one. You put a hex on here. You don't get the other one. You choose the special SCUF one. You don't get the other ones. You won't have one like this at all. No carrying case. No nothing. It's just what you built. Okay? So you just have to ask yourself what you want. Breaking it down in a nutshell, I think the Elite at this point is superior. I said that earlier already. The Elite with this SCUF build option and these accessory options, I think now is the controller to have. Truly. You combine better paddles with the ability to use that accessory app, and that's the controller to have. Even if you are some hardcore professional player. I understand that a lot of professional players do use the Elite now. And sort of everything that I didn't want, the things that steered me away from the Elite in the beginning, those barriers are gone now. I can get a set of paddles that I actually like and will use. And now I'm not walled off from all that profile customizability and all those settings things that you can tune anymore. That always did bother me because I did want that. But, you know, it's like if the paddles are shit, it's not worth it, right? Well, that's gone now. That's gone now. So I say, ask yourself, do I care about colors or not? Not. Standard Elite, buy the accessories you want. If you do, get the SCUF Elite through the SCUF website, and you can always pick up an accessory set later if there's something that you didn't get that you want. It works out. And, you know, as always, like I said in the last video, if you have questions, if there's anything I didn't answer or you still don't understand, leave your questions in the comment. I'll come back and do more videos answering what you want to know. Don't forget to check on my channel for the next video in this series, which is going to be my first impressions of using this controller last night. All right, guys, I will see you on the flip side.